Hi, I'm Rebecca Harris, and welcome to this edition of Faces and Places. We're so happy that you joined us here today. It's almost spring, and we've got a lot of exciting things coming up concerning gardening. So we have some very, very special guests here with us today from Lee County Master Gardeners. And Julia Freeman is here with us today, as well as Susan Price. And they're going to be telling us about an exciting event that we've got coming up called Spring Stroll 2020 Garden Tour. So I'm going to let you get started, please, Julia.
Thank you, Rebecca. We are very excited to tell people about our garden tour this year. We have one every other year because it's too much work to do every year. And it takes close to 200 volunteers in the gardens and behind the scenes to get ready for the tour that year before the tour. So we're having the tour Saturday and Sunday, May 16th and May 17th in Lee County. And we want to invite everyone to come and stroll the gardens with us.
That's so exciting. I'm going to plan to be there.
Well, good. We're going to be looking for you.
So tell me where this is going to take place.
Well, we have 12 gardens around the Auburn-Opelika area this year. Sometimes they're farther out, but Lee County Master Gardeners is part of Alabama Master Gardener Program, and it's part of the Alabama Cooperative Education System. And so we are under their umbrella. We are a volunteer organization to help them to educate the public about gardening and all things horticulture related.
That's awesome.
It's very exciting. It's a whole bunch of new friends when you get into the Master Gardener world. In 2018, Master Gardeners in Alabama logged in over 78,000 volunteer hours.
That's a
That's
lot.
just the ones you can remember. You know, sometimes you forget those phone calls or committee meetings that you've been on, planning meetings. So we are helpful to the Cooperative Extension Program to do what they do in education, because you just can't do it all by yourself. Master Gardener Program is more than a garden club. It's more than a horticulture class. You know, there is a class involved, but we help them extend their efforts through workshops, presentations. We work with them on theirs, and then we come up with our own. One of the most important things we do is the Master Gardener Helpline. It's for callers all over Alabama, and we take turns working that helpline to answer garden problem questions for the public.
That's amazing.
So that is our job one, to help them get information out there.
Now, if someone wanted to call you, how would they call you?
Well, I don't have the number with me, but all they have to do is go to the Alabama Extension website.
Okay.
Or our website is leemg.org, and that stands for leemastergardeners.org.
Okay.
And we have so much information.
That's an
on the
amazing
website.
resource.
It is. It is. We also have a Facebook page.
Okay.
The Master Gardeners come up with presentations after each meeting, with workshops. It might be a pruning workshop. It might be on something like container gardenings or building a raised bed for vegetables, or even grafting trees, or maybe making your own pots with Hypertufa quick set concrete. So we try to find presentations and topics that are timely to young gardeners, older gardeners, and help extension that way. We go to community events such as the Garden in the Park in Opelika and Auburn City Fest, and we have an educational booth. We give out timely seasonal gardening information. We give out, or we have activities for young children about native plants, and we probably need to do this again too.
What are some of the things that you get children involved in doing? I love that.
Well, we usually have something about planting seed. They get to take, they plant a seed with us. They get to take it home and grow something. It might be a vegetable. It might be a flower.
Right.
So for the little children, that's just so exciting. And it really, you have to start them young if
right.
you want to have children in the garden and enjoy nature. And they're learning science while they do that. And this goes along with the elementary school activities. We've done activities with elementary schools and places like that. If people are interested in finding out more about our Master Gardener program, they can go to our website, leemg.org, and see about courses, how to sign up for courses, and what all the things that we are doing. And you can also call your local extension office, and they will put you on a list for the special announcement when the class is announced. So you don't have to wait and see it in the newspaper. You get on the list early because the list can close up. So we would like to invite people to come and see what we're doing and check us out. They might want to be a Master Gardener.
That sounds exciting. I know that there is a garden club here in Phoenix City, and there are so many people that are interested in gardening, so I'm so happy that y'all are giving this opportunity.
We hope that they will come and see us, and in the future they might want to volunteer at a future tour. It's so much fun to volunteer.
It is.
Can we tell you why we do the garden tour?
Oh, well, I'd love to hear about that.
Okay, now why would we do a garden tour? Well, it's a gift to the people of Lee County and surrounding areas. It's a gift of inspiration. We want to inspire people to see what they can do in their gardens. And we have such a variety. Everybody has a different type of garden. We have sunny gardens and shady gardens. There are small gardens and big gardens. There are new gardens and mature gardens. There are gardens that have lots of containers. And there are all kinds of environmental conditions here.
Right.
We get too much rain or we don't get enough. We have drought with very, very strong sunlight for weeks and weeks in the summer. And then we have weeks and weeks of rain, which we all know about right now. We have water problems, water flow problems. We have all kinds of conditions that we have to address.
Right.
And so this garden tour is to show people real examples of problem solving, how people solve that water flow problem, and that problem where the water was going into the basement, and what to do and what kinds of plants go well in this area. So it's just a very important educational tool for us as well as a fundraiser. And we raise those funds for very important reasons, and I'd like to, Susan, would you tell us about those?
I certainly will. The funds that come from the tour are put to very, very good use. The cornerstones, basically, of our projects include education, preservation, and conservation. We have ongoing projects, and we have projects that are one at a time. You apply for it, and you have to win the grant. Our ongoing projects include annual scholarships to Auburn University College of Agriculture, support for the Auburn Community Gardens, funding for 4-H students. They do lots and lots of projects, and we want to support the girls as they get further into taking care of gardens in their homes, and also it's to make them feel good about themselves. We've had lots of projects that we've funded in the past. They really have been quite exciting. I have made myself narrow it down to 5. I'll be quick. The first one we did, and it was one of the first ones we ever did, was a home called Sunny Slope, which was built in the 1850s, 1860s, and was inhabited actually by one person who was the sword of the Civil War for the South, and one was the voice. So it's a beautiful old home, and had kind of had the landscape not really looking too wonderful.
And where was this?
This was next to the Jewel Collins Smith Museum in Auburn.
Okay.
On the main part of town. What we did was we found a photograph, and the photograph was right in there when you walked in the front hall. It had been there since forever, and we took that photograph. It was of the front of the house, and we went to a landscaper who was very, very versatile, and he took a look at it, and within the budget, he did as much as he could to recreate the garden as it might have been back in the 1860s.
That's awesome.
When the troops, they were bivouacking there and all that kind of stuff. We also gave a grant to the Arboretum, which was an educational grant, and it was for signage for our very unusual collection of oaks. The Arboretum is one of the most beautiful places in the world. It has all kinds of flowers and trees, but these oaks are unique because we have one of every kind of oak that's grown in Alabama. And this big plaque, you know, the kids can come in, they can see it, they can look at the pictures, they can go out and identify the trees, they can see from the pictures where the little buds are. And the information they learn from this, we feel that they can then apply to other trees. And maybe we can get them interested and wanting to preserve.
Where is the Arboretum?
The Arboretum is over across from the Jewel Collins Smith Museum as well. This is kind of a...
In Auburn.
In Auburn,
Okay.
yes, I'm sorry. Okay. Then we have given some educational grants that I feel are particularly special and valuable. One went to a thing called Opelika Grows, which is both, and in this grant is education and on conservation as well. What they did, they had to apply for the grant, and we get, now that we've got it started, we get many requests a year, and our committee will take a look at the grant, see if it meets the criterion, and then select. So they won, and what they have done with their money is they built a greenhouse, and they had enough left over that they could do a hydroponic garden. And the kids use this, and then they go on one step further to use their business skills to sell the produce to some of the better restaurants that are in town. So it's fresh, organic produce that is being grown by some of our students who learn differently. It gives them some money, and the rest of the money goes back into the projects.
I love that idea.
It's wonderful. It is wonderful, and everybody loves it. And the kids, it really saves some children that are not exactly the kind who learn like everyone else. Mm-hmm. And variety is not a bad thing, I don't think. The other one that I like very much went to Opelika High School, and again, it also is for education and conservation. Opelika High School was very blessed with a gift of, I don't know how many acres of virgin land behind the school. Mm-hmm. And at the time, it was just scrub and some trees and lots of nothing. So they decided that they wanted to have walking paths through it. They wanted over time actually to recreate a small organic farm that would include the animals, it would include different kinds of gardens, it would include the walking paths. And so with their money, believe it or not, we bought them a tractor so they could ride through, if they could create the land and make it be right. And they love that tractor, and it has more miles on it, but somehow master gardeners and tractors, I thought that was kind of funny, personally. Then one of my most favorites is a garden we just recently did at the Creer Preserve, which is over next to the fisheries at Auburn University. And what they did was a sensory garden. The idea came from one of our members, and she didn't know how to market it, and I said, oh, Margaret, this is fabulous. How are we going to do it? Well, they wanted, with the money, to get boxes, raised boxes that would be the height of children, so the kids could really get in there and see it. And the sensory garden was going to appeal to sight, smell, taste, touch, and ear. Now, I know we can look at flowers, and they're beautiful, or we can look at herbs, and we can smell the herbs, and we can smell the flowers, and we can eat things from the garden if we're told we may. And touch, of course, I see a beautiful parsley or something, I want to pat it. I'm going to say, oh, nice parsley. I thought, how are they going to do the audio? Well, they came up with a wonderful idea of all kinds of little wind chimes and water. And it is absolutely beautiful. It really, really is. We also have 4 demonstration gardens. One is in Kiesel Park. It is basically fruits and vegetables. Is that right, Julia?
There's also a little native garden, a little pollinator, butterfly garden.
Okay. Then there is Grandma's Garden, which is out at Pioneer Park, and it has a lot of the old plants and things. It's one of the ones I like best is they have a bathtub full of flowers, an old bathtub with the clawed feet. And we really like, that is a fun one. We have the Caroline Dean Garden, which is in downtown Opelika, and that is our garden for native plants, I think we're becoming more and more interested in native plants. They are adjusted to this area. They are usually far more hardy, both to the sun and to the rain or drought. I mean, they have to be to survive here. And then we have the Crayer Preserve, which is also known for its butterfly garden, as well as the garden I just told you about with the sensory garden. So that's kind of the education process and how the monies are spent.
So all of these areas are close to us, so if you're looking for something to do with your children sometime, then we would like for you to check out the Facebook pages or go on the internet and find out if there's anything special going on or when these facilities are open, and take your kids out and let them enjoy learning about plant life, because it is so important.
Also, if you have a group that wants to come, you can contact the gardens and they will be sure that somebody is there to do a presentation, age appropriate and specific, subject specific. If the teacher wants to teach them about herbs, they will do a presentation on that. And they also have summer camps.
Wow. Y'all have a lot going on.
Oh, we do.
So I know it takes a lot of people to run this organization, so can you tell me, if someone wanted to volunteer to help you with this, what would they need to do?
Oh, that would be wonderful.
If you are breathing, we will take you.
You don't have to know anything to volunteer to help
No.
with the tour, or to be a friend volunteer. So on their website, you can come and get the friend application. That would be the easiest, fastest thing to do to join us, and then take a look at taking the course. So yeah, you can send in that friend application and note on there that you would like to go ahead and be a volunteer with us, and even for the garden tour. So that would be fantastic.
And also, after our regular business meetings, we always have a program. All different kinds of things, everything from preserving to roses, petals from the past comes in. We have horticulturists, we have architects, and if something catches your fancy, y'all come.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about the event.
Well, the tour is going to be wonderful. We have 12 gardens. They are amazing, and you can just stroll through them. They're just such a variety of gardens, and goes back to all those descriptions that I have of our conditions. We have gardens from small to large. We have gardens from shady to sunny, from classical gardens to informal gardens, southern gardens to Japanese-inspired gardens. We have gardens that are 4 and 3 acres with huge vistas, and then gardens with small garden rooms, for dining and just hanging out. It's just amazing.
They're all the Garden of Eden.
They are. They're
beautiful.
wonderful. Some are colorful and attract butterflies, and others are very serene and green and relaxing. Some have families that are active and use those gardens for play, and they're built around the family activities. And others are just for relaxing in the serene, quiet area. We have a couple on small lakes. It's just such a variety. It always is, and it's just so much fun to see these gardens. And all these owners seem to have a sense of peace, and they described to us as we were looking for gardens that, you know, working in this garden or sitting out here just relaxes us and makes us feel whole, and it's such at home and at peace. And so we are just so happy that they're going to share these gardens with us.
That is very exciting. Tell us, how would we get a ticket to go and see this tour?
Well, tickets will be out soon.
Okay.
They will be $30 in advance, $35 the days of the tour. The ticket includes lunch from Chicken Salad Chick.
Yum.
So we're all about the chicken salad in Auburn, and I think you probably are down here too.
Yes.
We just think this will be a great treat for Mother's Day to buy your mom a ticket, maybe a couple of tickets, and take her. They will be available at local outlets in Auburn and Opelika. We don't know all of them yet, but they'll be on our website
Okay.
very soon, leamg.org. And I know Ace Hardware does it every year.
The
and
flower shop.
The flower shop.
Flower store.
Well, there's
We'll look on the internet and check it out.
they will be there, and any information you need will be on our website. And we just hope that everyone can come and have a good time with us.
And it's for such a good cause.
It is.
So the money goes in this area,
Yes.
Yes.
and it helps to educate a
Yes.
lot of people, a lot of different groups of people,
Mm-hmm.
and to inspire people to garden and to
Yes.
make a difference in our environment. And I want to thank you both for what you do in our community.
Thank
And-
you
Thank
for
you,
having us.
Rebecca.
And like we said, if you have any questions or you want to know more about this event, tell us a little bit, Julia, about how to get in touch with you again, please.
With
Or the website.
with leemg.org.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Or call your extension office. They can give you a phone number.
Yep.
So we'd like to talk to you either way.
All right. Well, that sounds wonderful. And I want to thank you both again. And I want to thank you all for joining us today. And I hope that you will put this event on your calendar and just make sure that you do something special with your mother for Mother's Day.
Yes.
And I can't think of anything any better than this. I think it would be a lot of fun for the whole family. So
It will.
thank you for joining us today on Faces and Places, where you never know whose face you'll see or which place will be. Until next time.